Well, the story, we talked about this last week. So over 5,200 housing units are going to be built on the site of the Place Versailles shopping center, yet less than 1% of it is going to be for affordable housing and only 9% for social housing. And this flies in the face of the Projet Montreal regulations, which came into force in 2021, the famous 20-20-20 regs that are supposed to be designed to favor the building of social and affordable housing and family housing at that as well. So what's going on? And what could be done to favor the development of more affordable housing, family housing, social housing? So last week we talked to the Projet Montreal administration, who runs the borough over there around Place Versailles. And now we're talking to Ensemble Montreal, opposition city councillor for the Louis-Riel district, Alba Zúñiga Ramos. How's that for pronunciation?
It's pretty good, thank you.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us in studio. So, is the Louis-Riel district the district where the Place Versailles shopping center is?
Exactly.
So that's your district.
Exactly. So as you know, this district has been in a lot of change in the past couple of years. We have construction happening in different areas because we do have 4 metro stations. Mm-hmm. So with this idea of TODs, transit development oriented areas, we have construction in Ascension, Cadillac, Radisson, and obviously L'Angelier. Mm-hmm. And so for people in the area, they're living through a lot of change. Mm-hmm. And it is hard to face the change when you see that the negotiations between the city and some of the promoters don't always give the population what the population needs.
So this is in the Mercier-Hochelaga Maisonneuve borough, correct?
Yes.
And Place Versailles, just for people who may not know, this is right near the Hippolyte Lafontaine Tunnel, on the west side where Radisson metro station is, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So now we keep hearing about that 20-20-20 rule, but at the end of the day, it seems you can just buy your way out of it. That's what we saw in the Montreal Children's Project and now this. How do you, as opposition city councilors, see this? I mean, Projet Montreal touts, that they're progressive, that they want to do social housing, affordable housing. Here you have a wonderful project. You say, okay, let's see some social housing, some affordable housing. It's not happening. What's wrong here? What is Projet Montreal's thinking on this, and what do you think should be done?
I think that what we can see here is that the administration is not being clear and is not being consistent. On one hand, you have all the speech that is given often by the administration, by the mayor in the area and Madame Plante concerning the fact that affordable housing has to be built. But on the other hand, you see that in fact, in reality, you don't really see that being translated into actual housing for people. And obviously this project, there's a lot of mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I have to tell you that some people are happy to see that there is going to be green spaces in the area. There's some positive aspects of the project, and I need to say that. But on the other hand, when you have an area where people are used to living in a residential area, and out of the blue they're going to have big stores that are going to be big, buildings that are going to be from 22 to 25 stores. There's a lot of change, and so you would have hoped that in exchange for such a change that people are going to face, that this administration would have negotiated better for the people. And this is the problem that I have in fact in my area. There's a lot of developing happening in Louis-Riel, and that's why at the beginning I kind of wanted to give you like a portrait of the area. We have 4 metro stations, right. And so you would wonder how many after all the permits that have been given, and you know how long it takes for this administration to give permits.
Years.
You would have hoped that there is more affordable housing, and in fact that hasn't really been the case in the area. So that's why people in this case they're really concerned. And obviously we're going to have a consultation, and I really do want people to be present at the consultation. But the onus should not be on the people who are going to go to the consultation to actually negotiate for this affordable housing. The onus should be on the administration right now to have done that prior to the project being presented. And this is something that hasn't happened in the area. So it's really sad to see the lack of leadership of this administration when it comes to this subject.
So I understand there will be consultations, and in principle, it's a good thing. But as we know, Projet Montreal doesn't care much for consultations. I mean, Camillien Hood is an example. We're seeing in NDG the whole mess with the Terrebonne bike path. There were consultations. Nothing has changed. So are you really hopeful that the Projet Montreal administration in Mercier-Maisonneuve will listen to any type of proposed change that come out of those consultations?
I think that you're right. I think on one hand, I'm gonna state that consultations are quite important. I believe in participation.
I agree.
I think that people are eager to participate. On the other hand, I think that you're right that this administration has a tendency of not listening to the people and has a tendency of informing the people when it comes to this type of projects after the fact. And so I'm begging. I'm honestly one of the reasons why I'm here in person today is because I do want to be the voice of the citizens in my area and tell you that we're really hoping, we really need for this administration to be open-minded. This project is going to change the life of a lot of people in the area for many years to come.
Yep.
So I'm really hoping, and I'm going to be there and I'm going to be present to ask the administration to listen to the multiple concerns that people have in the area. You know, one of the big changes that we have a lot of people coming, right? But on the other hand, when it comes to services that are going to be giving to those people, I invite the mayor of Montreal to go to my area to realize that we don't even have a cultural center. Our library, you know, they're doing the best they can with what they have, but it's really, really small. We have a lot of issues in the area. We have a lot of things being developed, but on the other hand, when it comes to services, they're not really following the people that are coming to the area. So that's another thing that I would like for this administration to realize, because I feel like this is something that hasn't really been discussed. And this is something that the NGOs in the area and people in the area tell me all the time.
So let's play a little political fiction here. This is going to take several years to get underway, right? A massive project like that. It's not like they're going to start building tomorrow. Let's say Projet Montreal is defeated. You're responsible for housing on the executive committee of the city of Montreal. What do you do? What does Ensemble Montreal do for major projects like these to make sure that there is enough social, affordable family housing being built? Because right now it's just not happening. So what would you do different?
So, you know, the administration has been in power, as you know, and I don't think I have to remind you that, for like 2 mandates. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been done, unfortunately. So there's a lot of mess that needs to be cleaned up. So obviously, I think that it is necessary for any administration to sit down and negotiate better. It's necessary to have the leadership when it comes to Quebec, when it comes to actually the people who want to build in Montreal. And it's necessary to create an environment that is appealing for people to invest and to facilitate building without compromising things like affordable housing and social housing. And so when you see situations like we saw in a couple of weeks ago when it comes to permits, that it takes forever in Montreal to get a permit like that, that's something that you have to address. To encourage people to, in terms of like the bureaucracy and how things are done, and, you need to work and see how things have to be efficient. It is hard. Every district, every area is different in Montreal. So it's not one size fits all, but obviously these issues have to be addressed in different boroughs, and we have to find solutions. But I think what needs to be done is accept that something is not working. And as long as this administration doesn't accept that that things are not working when it comes to the way they are approaching housing, solutions are not going to be found.
Would you abrogate the 2020 reg?
I think we do need to set that aside because it hasn't worked. And, I think it's really nice when the mayor goes and talks so much about housing. But on the other hand, I think people are judging Projet Montreal by the results.
Yes,
and
it's a mini golf course. That's the result.
And
it's a mini golf course.
So we don't see the results. And I think that's what's hurting people. And people don't believe anymore in the way this administration is working. And that's why people in my area are really afraid. They're afraid, that the consultation is not going to lead to an actual change when it comes to the things that need to be changed in the project. Obviously, I encourage people to participate in the consultation, but I also encourage the administration to change its approach. I think it's time.
All right, that's all the time I have. Please keep us posted on those consultations because we're going to want to follow this very closely. The city councillor for the Louis-Riel district for Ensemble Montreal in Mercier-Hochelaga-Maisonneuve, Alba Zúñiga Ramos. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you so much.